little bit. Hey, good guys. I'm back, and so are you. I'm still doing all the hat wearing here. You've got the Wicked Lady Hippy, and we are at the bar, and we are live. I have live chat up if anybody wants to go there. I also have to do the sound, and I am not good at this. I'm just back after a 10-month hiatus of trying to recover from an incredibly wonderfully bad injury, surgery, tons of metal, that kind of thing. So I'm very glad to be back. I had some trouble with the other channel that I'd used, and I used to do the podcast every day. And so since I couldn't clear that up, I started the second channel, and I just added my army nickname Wicked to the title I added on the first channel. So you should be able still to find me even if you just do Lady Hippie at the bar. But the new ones are going to be under Wicked Lady Hippie at the bar. So I threw that in there just to be expedient because I spent hours trying to get through on the other channel. So come see me, say hi, hit the bell, subscribe. Say go home, old lady. I don't care. Do something. I'm asking relatives, friends. um, Apparently you do need X amount of subscribers, and it would be fun to have everybody come back in and chat, leave a comment. I usually don't put up anything but me and whatever it is that I can figure out to talk about while I'm up here trying to seek a like person. I believe that this medium should be used. It's free. We can talk to each other around the world in real time. It's awesome. It's so Woodstock without the mud and trying to find food. So yeah, the hippies were good. Gotta bring that shit back. I think we're kind of going to. We have a president who loves peace, and that's always a good step in the right direction. When I was growing up, we were told you don't talk about politics or religion in a crowded room. You're guaranteed to get somebody hot or somebody shot. So now that's the only thing on the table almost right now these days to talk about. I like to pop over and watch ghost videos or paranormal videos. I like several people. Professor Victor Davis Hanson. He's got a podcast called The Blade of Perseus, but the guy is amazing. If there's anything you want to know about world history, American history, or just to watch, this guy's fantastic. He's 72 now. I wish he was only 50 because I watch all of his stuff. He also does some, at least once, I believe, in the morning, throws a little bit of a podcast, like 8 minutes for the Daily Signal. So you can find him there too. He's just one of the ones I like. There's several. Joe Rogan. He's also a great podcaster. When all this started, it was called blogging, and I didn't get to that. I'm retired. I get through so many minutes. I'm talking about me. Um, I'm retired, wife, mother of one, grandmother of two, Army veteran, published author. That's me in a nutshell. Little off. You will see that here I am at the bar, and I thought that was really cool. And we have this big bar, so we have a lot of parties. And we always go out a couple of times a month, and we find whatever bottle is looking strange. We've never tried it before, and so we add that to the bar. This is big mirror, and you've got your stemware on the racks, and you've got all the weird bottles out. I love the bar. We put a small island with the bar on one side and blocked our kitchen off, so that the whole dining room / living room area is really now the bar. There's places to sit. TV's mounted. We're good to go. I don't think there's anything else you need to know about me today. You probably don't need to know about the rest of anything because that's all they talk about anymore. Although I don't watch legacy media, which seems to be a good term for them. There is something I will explain, but just if you have any questions, either pop into the live chat. You can also, throw something down in comments. I have what I call, even though I'm here at the bar, I call it my stiffener. I was adopted at 9, and I was raised. Well, I was already raised. I was already qualified to go to college. But in any event, I digress. They were World War II. Actually, one World War One, Depression, World War II. These guys had a rough time. They really did. Awesome people. I was there 9 years, and I was grown and went to the army. I was going to WAC training. That's another story. Rent Private Benjamin. Oh, you don't have to do that anymore. Probably just look for Private Benjamin. Goldie Hawn placed my part, and you can see how the women were doing when we first got to the army. It was no longer a WAC corps, and the army was the men, and the WAC corps was the secretaries and nurses, which I trained to do both. I had rank because I was so went through ROTC, went through college, all this stuff. Had rank, did not help. Made it worse. But again, that's a story for another time. If you'd like to hear it, pop in. We'll talk about it. Um, there are some things I also promised myself that I would do. I did not know Charlie Kirk's scope of his work. I knew him as the guy, to me, he's a kid that said, "Prove me wrong." And I just adored him. I thought he was the greatest thing. I had no idea of the politics that he was in. I did not know he was worldwide audience. I didn't even know he had a podcast. Uh, at Turning Point, I had no idea. I knew he had a beautiful wife and two children. That's all I really knew. And I would catch him if I would see on YouTube when I had a minute, that he had either put in a podcast or was live doing the Q&A. And I loved it. I thought it was great. And I didn't, like I said, find out the scope until after he was assassinated. The day he was assassinated, I hit my knees. I came in from the grocery store and I heard he'd been shot. And I stopped. And I mean, I was like, why would anybody shoot this kid? And to me, he's a kid. He's just a few years older than my grandson, who's also an Army veteran. So that gives you my age group. Hippy's a giveaway. But thank you for the kind compliments. The age is a state secret. I don't tell anybody. So I mentioned Charlie Kirk every time I do a podcast. I do not want his baton to be dropped. Candace Owens, I worry about. I think she needs to do Wusa. I think she needs a break. I think she should go somewhere there's no Wi-Fi. The widow, I don't know what's going on about that. It's not my business to do that. Judge not lest you be judged. So I can't go there. Like I said, I knew the boy only as the proved me wrong, and he was an adorable young man. And it kills me. I actually grieved, and it surprised me so much when President Trump came on and said that he had died to lower the flags to half mast. I just hit my knees. I was so I was so shocked at my own reaction, and I said, "This is going to be shades of JFK." And I'll be blessed if I wasn't wrong there. I mean, I pegged that, and this is within 4 or 5 minutes. All this information, and I'm looking to see what's going on because I knew he had one live at Utah, and so I was going to pop through when I came in from grocery shopping. Um, and I saw Joe Rogan was up live. So I went to Joe, and he's got a great audience. He's got a great following. And so I knew if anybody was going to be on top of it, Joe Rogan would be. And he was live, and he had Charlie Sheen on, everybody knows, as his guest. And I remember his reaction as well. That, and so many of us, Megan Kelly, also, this was all coming in to us live. Luckily, finally, somebody blurred Charlie as his actual death time. You see his neck explode. You don't see. I mean, it just puffs, and they've cut it, and they've cut most of those videos. But there were so many people that were watching it because it was live, and this was so. I don't even have words for it, but I made a promise to Charlie that, irregardless of what I was talking about, what I was doing, whenever I made a live podcast or any podcast, that I would mention this young man. And 1 minute he was with us, and the next second he was standing talking to Jesus. So I'm grateful that it was that fast. I think the widow should be left to be a widow, and yet I understand she's coming out doing things. That's a prerogative. If that's what helps her to get through it. I mean, like I said, I didn't know he had a podcast. I didn't know he had a worldwide following. And at his memorial, I saw millions of people in Korea, London, everywhere. And there was no burning buildings, no burning cars. That's amazing after what I've seen for a decade under, the 4-year weekend at Bernie's. So I was very touched when I saw that. And it's surprised, like I said, at my own reaction. I had not grieved like that since Princess Diana had been taken in that car accident. And I still grieve. I'll see a picture of her with the children, and, just little things. I'm a mother myself. And I don't know why I said JFK shades of when I heard, but I've watched now. It's been almost 2 months, not quite, but almost 2 months, and I haven't seen. I'm seeing some very strange things, and I understand why Candace Owens. She wants to know what happened to her friend, and I stand behind her with that premise. But there are certain things she can't go overboard. She's gonna have to rein it back. It's not her. It's not doing her, I don't think, a lot of good right now. And there's so many hypotheses out there. Everybody's got the footage. Everybody's going over it, including professionals. This isn't, and because of the situation that we live in this century, all of this can be done in real time. And there's some obvious questions about what happened to Charlie. I'm going to leave it at that. If there's anybody that's got anything to say, please live chat me, comment. I'm going to let that be now. I saw that President Trump never fails to amuse me. He's at first I didn't care for him. I knew him as the multimillionaire, New York guy. Saw him once on Fresh Prince of Bel Air. He's pretty good. He's still married to what's her name. Anyway, I didn't start taking to him until I saw in his first administration how the press were treating him and so forth. And then COVID hit and trying 2 impeachments. And the guy wasn't guilty of anything but being president. He was being a damn good one. They didn't want their honeypot touched. So and I still to this day, unfortunately, about January 6th, they set that up. And unfortunately, he called Georgia because he couldn't understand where all the votes went. I kept saying they're under viaducts on the sides of the road. I saw them everywhere where they just threw them out. All these ballots, they were just thrown out. So I believe in my heart, too, that he did win his second term. The funny thing, the mugshot on the wall, I hope he put that in concrete. He's gonna have a legend, this man. 2 impeachments, nothing. He wasn't guilty of anything. How they destroyed General Flynn, 3-star general, made it all up. He pled guilty because they were going to go after his son. So he lost everything, had to start all over again. 3-star general, served his country 30 plus years. Now I can relate to that. I have served my country a long time. There's a lot I didn't agree with and a lot I did agree with. Did I vote? Oh, hell no. They got the Electoral College for all that shit. I see no point in doing it twice. And if you'll think about it, even President Trump came out and said, I won the electoral vote by lots or something to that effect. And then and I also won the popular vote. And you notice he says that afterwards. So and I'm watching this meltdown that they've been doing. It's killing my kid. My kid, again, works for the government and has most of his life, his working life, just like I did. He was born in Germany, in Heidelberg. I was still active Army. In any event, they haven't been paid in a month. Now, they had just bought a new car. They have a house that they've been paying on for 15 years. I don't know. I don't ask those questions. Point being, you have bills. You've got mortgages. You've got car payments. You've got insurance payments. You got to buy food. And we've been paid our October. We're retired, and all of ours came in for October. We're real worried about November. I think everyone is. Even traffic controllers, the air traffic controllers aren't being paid. President Trump did find money to pay the military last month. I don't know if it can this month. I still want to know how one job, you fucks, And no, this is not for children. You fucks have one job that you say the people elected you for. Now, Mr. Schumer, what have you done in the 40 odd years that you've been there? I haven't heard anything that you've done. Why does this one man, control all the votes on the Democratic side? For that matter, why is there only Republicans and Democrats? Why are there parties at the fuck all? There shouldn't be. Your ballots are supposed to be secret. They had the little curtains you pull behind you. Now you got MAGA hats, you got shit signs in your yard. Knock it off. Go back to what you used to do, which was a secret ballot, and hold the people that you elect to office accountable. This is not being held accountable. Are they getting their paychecks? They were fucking asked. And yeah, they're getting their fucking paychecks. Now, what the hell's cool about that? I also heard somebody say something that was amazing to me, that this is the uh, baby boomers generation that is doing this. I'm like, oh, fuck all. No, it's not. No, it's not. Um, our generation does seem to be in the lower echelon of those who are in politics in DC and hold seats. But most of these people are octogenarians, and apparently, if Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer says you don't vote that way, you don't fucking vote that way. What the hell are your constituents telling you? The people that voted for you, do they count at all? Because I know, sure as shit, that not one of them is going, oh, please, I don't want to get paid. Keep that check. Not a fucking one of them is. They're all fucking telling you, including credit unions and banks, are saying, what the fuck? It's enough. You're not going to continue to keep the American citizens hostage the way you've done. You have destroyed your base. And I hope to God that next year nobody even admits to being a Democrat because they're too embarrassed and ashamed to say they are. And maybe they can lay that at Schumer and Pelosi's feet. Pelosi's been there since 1986. Who the fuck votes for somebody for 40 odd years? Tell me that. Riddle me that, Batman. Yeah, I get a little time. Mm, it's a bar. Ah, I decided to have some 12-year-old scotch today. Now, oops. Now I'm all over the place because it doesn't want to sit down. There it goes. I've got so much stuff around the bar. I don't smoke. My husband buys these for me. I have seen a friend here at the bar for his birthday, and he pulled one out and asked if he could smoke. I'm like, it's a bar. Fuck yeah. We don't, but we used to. And for, of course, health reasons at our age, we had to quit. So I vaped. Tried one of these, and I was like, oh, that's so like going back in Europe because I used to buy mine from France. And that was because ours were rationed. The American cigarettes were rationed. You could only get so many per month. I used that to pay my rent when I lived in Germany because I wasn't on base. There's some stories I could tell. And so I have a stiffener when I'm up here. I call it a stiffener. My parents, the women, would faint. They'd faint on the couch. They'd faint on the chair. They never once hit a floor. And the men, whoever would get there first, what have you, the husband, of course, usually would say, get the hooch. And they're waking her up with the ampules, and they're like, so you've run in there, and they had these little glasses, and they put in, whatever. There was brandy, whiskey, it didn't matter what it was, bring that out. They'd sip that. And then they would say, I think I feel a little better. Maybe a little this. We all need to cook dinner. They bring her another one. They never went past 3. But I remember that my whole life. They've gone on to God. Blessed be their memory. I like that. The Jews say that. It's a great phrase. They were great people, but the women cracked me up about that. I don't even know what would bring it on. It was like they were bored or they just wanted a drink before they made dinner. I don't know. But I remember that. So I thought, okay, Fainting's a good thing, I guess, if you need to. There's all kinds of reasons you could see, and if you had any TV, and I didn't have a lot of TV time, as but I could never faint in my entire life. I've never been able to faint. And I'm talking, major injuries, eye surgery that I woke up in the middle of, there's stitching, things like that. You can't fucking faint. I'm like, seriously? And so that's been my thing. So I call it a stiffener. To me, it's just a reminder of my parents. Um, Again, I see all these people that are protesting. They seem to have time and money to protest. These go out while I'm talking. It's another reason my husband lets me have them. I don't buy any. That way I don't actually start smoking again. I just cheat once in a while, like every day while I'm talking to you guys, except weekends. Weekends are rough. So I'm seeing all this crap that they call him. It's not politics. And I hope to, I hate to bother God about such a thing, but when elections come up and they're going to supposedly in a few days, what they call midterm elections, I do hope nobody votes for the people that are holding the country hostage. But all they have to do now, if they want the Senate to pass the bill, they can give them all the money that they want, which is a couple $1 trillion, to go and give money to Bombay and teach them about LQBTI, yeah, that stuff. It's none of my damn business. Like it's none of your damn business which way I fly. That shit. This is why we used to have censorship, because they were stupid fucks. You don't need to get up in nobody's face and tell them, "Oh, you're this and you're that." Fuck you. Get in my face with a bullhorn. Pick your hospital first. I'm old. I have bail money. I wonder where I'm going to put that. Think about it. Nobody should be treated that way. I love the fact that this time that he's back, President Trump, he's got the mug shot in there. He's getting everything in gold. He's adding a ballroom. He redid the Rose Garden. Looks great. It functions great. No 1 cent of taxpayer money has gone to this. He's had the lawns resided. I think he's even had it painted. It was gray in the 80s when I was in DC. So, and I was kind of embarrassed of it. I mean, but I had done Europe, and I'm thinking, you're going to go to Windsor Castle and meet the Queen, and you're going to have the Prince, who's the next reigning king, come and see you at the White House. And you're not a little bit embarrassed? Yes, it needs improvements. If Obama spent 300 million of our taxpayer dollars to turn the tennis court into a basketball court, God knows what it cost 300 million. Then I don't see the problem with Mr. Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, putting in a ballroom. It's not 1 dime of the taxpayer money. This is donations from people and Donald Trump's own money. President, I'm sorry. And he deserves this title. And a man of peace and a man of action, and getting back all these companies that kept leaving America. Like right now, they've outsourced all of your satellite phones. If you have problems or if you want to do this, that, or that, you're talking to a guy that says he's John, but he's Hindi and he lives in Bombay, because you can hear the accent. So why an absolute fuck all is our shit all over the place instead of here? When I didn't know none of this, but I don't follow politics. I've begun to follow politics because of the way they treated Trump the first time. Then we had the weekend at Bernie's for 4 years, which is hysterically funny in some ways. Love him groping for the seat. Wasn't a seat within 40 miles. This man's looking for a seat behind him. Wandering off into the jungle to go get him, bring him back. Easter Bunny having to take him over. Obama escorting him off the stage. That was one hell of a debate, wasn't it? Oh my God. I didn't watch it, but I've seen excerpts from it. I was like, they should have cut his wires like in 2 seconds. Come get this idiot. They should never have done this to this man. And I think that in particular, Jill, the wife, should be held accountable for trotting her husband around like that. Not only is now fighting cancer, but he was fighting it then. He was fighting dementia. He lost. We all get old. There should be some kind of a limit on age as far as taking presidency. I don't think you should be able to run for the presidency after the age of 70. Although I have to admit, President Trump is running him ragged. I think he's 78 now. Because the reporters don't want to get on Air Force One in that because they don't get any rest. Apparently, they can't sleep while they're flying. They land and they still got to be reporters or whatever they call themselves now. But Donald Trump does, he's on fire. He's still running. There was a comedian that said, our president just don't give a fuck. And I was like, yeah, there's no blinkers on this man. There's no. I love that. When he did the podcast, and well, I had already decided this was the guy that should be president when they tried to kill him and nicked his ear, and he knew instantly. Mind you, he was West Point as well. And look it up and hit the dirt. Now those bunting things that are out there, those are metal. They're not bunting. I mean, it's not cloth. So to give some protection if you have to get down, and he did. And I really studied this. There was several shots. He had 8 shots fired. He had them in a group of 5 and a group of 3. So you had dum 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 dum. And 28 seconds later, you hear a thump. And that's all I had to hear. I was like, Secret Service, the sniper got him. Why it took 28 seconds, I don't know. Why he got 8 rounds off, I don't know. But he killed a fireman and shot 3 other people. They don't talk about that, but President Trump does. And finally, my point being was there was being respectful and saying this, that, or the other. And Donnie's still up there going, I call him Donnie, I love it. He did the podcast also, was when I said, this is a real dude. He's not a politician, and that's what we need. Had he been allowed to do the presidency the first time, and if they hadn't done the silent coup the second time, this country would be in much better shape. And the best they can do now is bankrupt our country because they hate this man. I don't know why, other than, well, they did take most of their honeypots like USAID. That was just going to NGOs who were filling it right back to them. AOC goes in, she's only worth a couple $100,000. The next year she's worth 30 million. Same for Nancy Pelosi. Apparently she's worth nearly 300 million now. And there was one guy who did an app. I don't know his name. Look it up. You're sure there's something about it, or tell me and I'll go back in a deep dive and pull it. But he ran an app or something to that nature to follow Nancy Pelosi's buying options on the stock market. He's rich. He's a multimillionaire now. So I don't think that anybody in office should be allowed to do insider trading. They put Martha Stewart, bless her heart, in jail for that shit. But if you're a congresswoman, you can go for millions. That should be stripped from them. They're traitors. They've committed treason. I mean, in your face on steroids, treason. Like they had Hillary Clinton dead to rights. But John Comey stands up there and goes, well, she didn't even do all that. There's really nothing in there worth going to take her to court or anything about. And that wasn't his job. His job was to say, yeah, bitch did this shit. She going to have to go to jail. I mean, no, that's not how that goes down. I can't wait. I'm praying to God they managed to at least Comey in there, the arrogant son of a, I won't want to insult his mama, but you see where I was going with that. Now, I don't know how much longer we Americans are going to sit back and go, they'll get over this. No, they won't. They're destroying your country. The people that you put in power are doing this. The people you put in the office, all those little Democrats that y'all signed in, y'all need to rein them back in. Y'all need to remind them who the fuck they're supposed to be working for. And it isn't fucking Chuck Schumer. And as far as Chuck Schumer goes, he's well past his age. His constituents should have already tarred and feathered him and rode him out on a rail, along with pretty much all the other Democrats. They're not supposed to be there to vote because this guy said so. They're there to represent whoever said, yeah, we're going to vote for this guy. Do you think, again, do you think that those guys are going, fuck the paycheck, I'm good for another month? No, they're not. Trust me, they're not. And you keep this up and they won't have any reason to stay at home. They will march. I pray to God I see a good march. I pray to God. I think they should have took that. No, you're out. You're out for treason. This is treason. And this isn't just your first act of treason. This is another reason why people are being investigated. You did lawfare on President Trump, former President Trump, candidate President Trump. You debanked him, for God's sakes. They would not allow the man to bank anywhere. So they started investing in the Bitcoin, from what Donald Trump Jr. was saying. I don't understand what that is really, but I will look it up at some point. I'm still old fashioned. I don't know what the fuck it is. Somebody explain this shit. But anybody that's doing that to one person and his family, by the way, they took $500 million from Donald Trump. At that time, he was a citizen and former president. And they took millions from his kids as well to hold for their trials. The broad Letitia James was out every other day having herself a photo op and getting to say how everybody is under the rule of law. What happened to her shit? I'm thinking maybe she had an idea about this and what to go after her for, because she was doing it in 3 places and had been for some time. You don't usually marry your daddy, although I understand that some of them marry their brothers, but that's okay. I guess they're okay in the country. She used her dad to commit fraud. The other, whatever she is, used it to commit fraud and enter our country and stay illegally. And she's now a congresswoman. Iliad Oman or something, isn't her name? You know, the little Muslim girl. We don't have hijabs in this country. If you want to wear hijab, go home. You want to have jihad? Go home. I dare you. Go for the weekend. Don't put that bitch on. Don't take that hijab off like you do here. Take it off. How much longer do you think you will live? The honor killings just in those Arab countries alone are astronomical. These guys run around in these big black hijabs and they look like little Its from the little cousin It. Some of you know what I'm referring to. Britons call it the letterbox because they just have the eyes. That's it. Can't tell me. It's this little blob. And do the women want to do that? Oh fuck no! But you get some women who get up there and say, "Oh yeah. It's my religion. Yeah. Because they know the husband will kill them, and have, and will continue to. I've seen the rest of the world now. I've watched the meltdowns. I watched as the pandemic killed millions of people around the world. It is the China virus. They did unleash a bio-fucking weapon and killed millions of people, yet China didn't get any problem with that. They closed their own provinces down, but they kept allowing foreign people to come in and then get on the planes and go back, because then they could continue to spread this shit. This was a bioweapon unleashed on the world. And until you guys get your mind straight and understand that, this could happen more than once. They've just kind of trying to blight all of our crops so that we don't get to eat because they died from this or that. They're working on strains to make sure it kills your food chain, your food supply. At what point do you go, fuck all? They've been at war with us, and they did it silently, and we knew it. You can't tell me that our government did not know. And that's not the first time. The N1H1 was also a variant of COVID. And they can COVID all they want. I still call it the fucking China virus, because that's what the fuck it is. Wake up, folks. And they're not the only ones. The Middle East is paying millions of dollars to these Ivy League universities so their children can go and learn how to kill Americans. And that's exactly what they're doing. And make sure that your kids that you're paying to send to these Ivy League schools are outside in a tent, shitting in a bucket, wearing a nice little headscarf and screaming, "Free Palestine." From what? What are you fucking freeing them from? They had their state. They even had free food. They had free money. They had free utilities. They had free phone service. What did they do? They massacred. They slaughtered. And I can't even find a good word to describe what these people did. And they did it with joy, with glee, with pride. I burned a baby alive today, and then I cut its head off in front of the parents, and then I killed them by hand. We cut them off. We just decapitated a guy with a shovel. Want to see the footage? Israel was kind to the world in not showing these GoPro footages that they took and not letting the world see the horrors that they visited on kids, old people, the women. Oh my God. And you are out there protesting Free Palestine. Again, from fucking what? From stupidity? From horror? From murder? From slaughter? Want a friend to make sure they get that done before they come for your stupid ass? Read a book. Normally I would just say go to Google, but this time I think you really ought to read the fucking books. Something you can feel. I can't believe how many stupid sons of bitches are in here. These guys are in their 20s to 30s. These are some stupid, scary sons of bitches. And if you don't like what I'm saying, prove me wrong. Prove me the fuck wrong. Now, sometimes my little rants get me in trouble and they won't let me air. But sometimes it's necessary. Somebody got to stand up and say, what the fuck? I mean, you got to open a window sometimes and say, nah, get the fuck off. I'm tired. You've taken all my money. You've taken my kids' money. You've taken my grandkids' money. What the fuck all do you still need money to send condoms to fucking Iran for? And this is what they're doing now. They want all their pet peeve projects given this money because their honeypot got closed down by Doge. Why else do you think they hated that man so much? They knew he would have to let go. He would have to go to all of his businesses because he has so many. They knew if they kept doing Tesla and kept torturing this and doing that he would have to leave. Then I believe they set up the boy that had the name Big Balls, which I thought was funny. Skinny little young man. He's got some chutzpah. But I believe he was set up because they beat him within an inch of his life and walked away. Oh, we went to court. Janine Pirro, I love her. Judge Janine Pirro has gone crazy trying to find a way to get these people. Since they'd already been adjudicated, they got probation. This kid had hospital time. I mean, and it wasn't one-on-one or no shit like that. It never is. Evil never plays fair, folks. If you do side with good, if you do understand the evil that is, evil just permeates the world right now. People are saying, oh, Israel can't do this. They can't do that. Yes, they fucking can. If Canada came across the border and slaughtered 1,200 people and kidnapped a couple hundred more while they were starving them, what do you think we'd do? I know what we'd do. Because if the military didn't move when we thought it should, then the militias would have formed and all of us veterans would have fucking marched. That didn't happen in Israel. They told them when they were coming. They told them where they were coming. They had to do this house to house. Watch some World War II movies. You'll see. That's not an easy thing to fucking do. And you lose a lot of troops by doing it that way. They didn't have any air capacity, and they've taken out Iran's capacity to fight in the air. They could have just carpet bombed the fuck out of the place, and that was it. That's what I would have done. And I wouldn't have told them I was coming, and I wouldn't have had them wait. They're all terrorists. Have you seen the 8-year-old standing there? Yeah. They're indoctrinated. from much younger even than that, probably starting at the age of 2 or 3. It's all they learn. It's all they know. Talk to the Green Prince. He'll tell you his father started Hamas, and he's now hiding throughout the known democratic world, and he is no longer Muslim. Anybody read the Quran? Show of hands. I got time. Yeah, no, you haven't. You ought to. You ought to. Then you know what you were talking about when you said, holy shit, these guys do believe in jihad. They will kill us. When they get through with the river to the sea, meaning they will kill all of the Israelis, God forbid, amen, they will come for us. Israel is little Satan to them. We're big Satan. We got an ocean between us. Right now, that's helpful. That's why they had to take Iran's capabilities out to make nuclear weapons. Although the Clintons did a really good job in making sure that they had the, I believe it was uranium or whatever it was, that they had plenty of that. Yeah, the Clintons did. Another thing people don't seem to understand is the director of the CIA was the first President George Bush. And while he was director of CIA, he put Saddam Hussein in power. He did. The Americans did under the leadership of the CIA. And then, 25 years later, literally, Junior Bush had to come in and go find him and kill him. I don't know why they had to wait 25 years. I don't know why they lied about it. But there was something in Iraq they fucking wanted. And a lot of good men and women died to do that. A lot of good men and women died in Afghanistan so that Biden could say, there's that base for you. We left everything. Blackhawks, it's all yours. There's some money in there, big crates of money. That's for you guys. We got, you get all of it. It looked like Saigon. And then 13, now, was it 13? Might have been only 3. I think it was 13 that was killed by that bomb on the last day, but I can't quite remember. I did have some of my stiffener. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was terrible. It looked like the fall of Saigon. Had it been in black and white, I would have thought I was watching Saigon. The kids hanging under the wings, and the plane can't stop. It's already in the air. It can't just drop down. They fall off dead, of course. It was horrible. And it was avoidable. There was no need for none of that. They used the Afghanis, and then they left them there to be killed. And they were. You've got Christians that are dying all over the world. Nobody's talking about that. I heard now we're supposed to make sure that the Ukraine has enough weapons to defeat Russia. Are you fucking nuts? Google it. We could send shit till the cows came home. Russia is being backed by China. Do you really think that there's enough weapons to stop the Russians from taking more of Ukraine? I got a bridge here. I'm not using it if you're interested. Idiots. It just kills me how this is working. I don't understand it. When they started doing the protesting at the universities, even my grandson said, "Oh, Grandma, you would have confounded us, wouldn't you?" I was like, "Oh, you bet your ass." He said, "You wouldn't have stopped with us either, would you?" I was like, "Nope." I'd want to find every one of your teachers and whoever is in charge of them and whoever is in charge of them. I want all of you. I still do. The other thing is, speaking of universities, that I had a question about with Charlie Kirk, may his memory be a blessing, amen. They took that scene and they redid everything and concreted over it. It doesn't even look like he was ever there. And I'm like, and this is in 2 weeks of his death. Oh, we got the shooter. Go ahead. You can have the crime scene. And when I saw how massively well known he was, I was, not to mention, it's only been a couple of weeks. He was assassinated in front of everybody, just like JFK. And that whole area is gone now. Why? Even if it was released, see, why did you change it so that it is not recognizable as the place where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. That's all gone. Now, I've heard a couple of explanations for that. One is that Charlie's blood was a biohazard. God bless him. So that they had to get all that out. Well, I'm figuring, you could take up a couple of feet of dirt, plant something later. That's all you needed to do. But no, it's concrete, all that, because they were upset, the kids were, when they had to go by there. Well, yeah, they should be. He fired over the heads of 3,000 kids or more, used one bullet, managed to kill the man. Boy, he was good for a kid who's got his grandfather's World War One rifle. He hasn't had any training. Oh, that scotch is good. Glenfiddich. I love that stuff. I have had people ask me, how do you get up there and do that? Now, I don't have a following on this channel. So if you do see me, at least hit the like or dislike. I really don't care. Just do something. If you don't want to watch it, just put it on and go do something else while let it run. I want this to be kind of like the turning point in some ways. I want us to be able to speak to each other about any fucking thing we want. Within reason. Mother did teach me some manners, and swearing was not allowed when I was growing up. But there's some things I'm more passionate about than others, and I tend to start going into warrior mode, as my kids call it. And they're right. They knew that would never have flied with me. Even if they weren't a member of it, it wouldn't have flown with me as going on their college campus or university. No, I would never have allowed them to go back. And I would have demanded with an attorney to give back the fees I'd done paid. Nor did I know that they had already done things like this. Certain students got different graduation days. You had to go this way. This dorm was over this way for Jewish people, this way for LGBT, whatever they are. And I don't care. I'm like Ricky Gervais in that. I don't give a fuck. It's none of mine. That's your shit. That is your shit. That's your shit show. It's not mine. I mean, you talk about a clusterfuck. That's all I've seen lately. Who gives a shit? This isn't 1889. They're not going to put you in jail for that shit. You don't need to get in my face because you want me to know that you're a LGBT, whatever this shit. I don't give a fuck, okay? Just again to reiterate that point. Those of you who let these fucks get in your face, you should teach them lessons about doing that, make them eat some concrete. I bet they wouldn't do that so much. You get back in their face if they get in yours. For militias, they'll probably come after me now. But as far as I'm concerned, Chicago, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles have all created sedition. They are all committing treason. They have all seceded from the Union. All of them. Sanctuary cities you can't have federal officers in is sedition. It's seceding from the Union. Look up the Civil War. Google will explain it to you. And then when you tell me that, they can't wear anything to keep their faces hidden so their families are safe, we've made a law. Oh, fuck you have. They are federal employees. They're out there risking their actual lives. And personally, like in Portland and Seattle, I think they should go get you fucks that have decided they're the bad guys and not the good guys. I think they should march your asses out there with them. See how you feel about it after that. These people are not in the country legally. They're taking over cities, not just apartment blocks. They've been here 4 years at the very least. And if you guys don't understand what that means, then go spend the weekend in fucking Portland, LA. If you can't walk in shit while you go in to find you some store that's maybe still open that has everything strapped down that you almost need a grenade to get loose. Do you want to live like that? Because it's coming your way. When they admitted Palestine, and to me they'll always be the PLO, they're the ones that started the hijacking the plane ship, but I digress. They got up there and they had their speech after they were admitted to the UN. Sharia law is coming for you. I remember that statement so vividly. because I was like, what the fuck? This guy's hello. This guy's the head of the terrorist organization of the BLO. What the fuck do you mean? I didn't watch TV much, And still, I remember that speech. I caught probably very little of it because I was so stunned, but I remember Sharia laws coming to you, and we will win your country, so we won't fire a bullet. We will use your laws against you. And by God, they did. They did. And you know who's helping that along. That would be your legacy. No, media legacy. That's the word. Yeah, that's them. Along with, I'm going to have to go with the Democrats here because somehow they've divided. Whoever you vote for has to be one or the other. I don't like neither one of them. Then what? Do we get a different choice? Can we say a people's choice? Go back to voting where nobody knows what the fuck I voted for? The world has gone crazy. It's just gone loopy time. The inmates are running the asylum. Okay? People are out there. They are one sandwich shy of a fucking picnic. I'm just saying. Are these the people you want your grandkids around? Really? You want them to stay? And hope that they don't shoot you in the face and take your $20? Because they will. They'll do it just for fun. You have no idea what these gangs are like. Wake up. Look into it. Again, Google has everything. Those tattoos are not for fun. Those tattoos say what they can do, what they will do, what they have done. And you don't know thereof what you are speaking about. Don't be stupid all your life. You can't fix stupid, but you can fix yourself to be informed. Not just, oh, I'm going to believe this entire scenario because of what? Huh? Because this guy in a headscarf that said this guy shouldn't even be in the country, let alone preaching sedition. You people are out there in your tents preaching sedition. You should be in jail for the rest of your lives. And these cities and these states need to be taken back, federalized, and every one of them that have committed treason should be tried all over here. I think Gator Gitmo would be good for him. I call it Gator Gitmo. Down in Florida, love DeSantis. That's where they should be while they wait their term to get to court to be found that, oh, yes, you committed treason. Yes, it is the death penalty. They haven't changed that yet. Now, the only president I've ever seen that have enough chutzpah to pull that off and actually do the country a favor by doing the right thing would be Donald Trump. But he's a man of peace. He's not going to do that. He doesn't like sending the troops in. He doesn't want to send the troops in. He's sending them in because it's his fucking job. He has one job, and that's to lead the nation and to keep it safe. And when they're telling him, well, Chicago's kind of gone, it's divided between these guys, these terrorist groups. So they're on the west side, these guys are on the north side, and the mayor's back over there in that gated community with 30 guards and 400 police. And no, the police can't help us get the bad guys out. Yeah, we were pinned down. They couldn't. The police didn't come and help. Every one of you should hang your heads in shame. I say that every time I'm up here. Shame. Shame on you. Oh, they'll hurt our retirement. Fuck that. Go to a damn city that wants you to work, that wants to honor you for giving your life in service. Not because this crazy son of a bitch who should already be in jail for sedition and treason tells you can't do it. That's your job. You're going to let other lawmen die in front of you because you can't do it? You're in the wrong fucking job, mate. Think about it. Tommy Robbins said, love you guys. Shout out, man. I hope they keep you safe. That man's done more jail time for nothing wrong other than to say they are taking away our country. We don't want Sharia law. We don't want our women dressed as Cousin It's in black. And they pick him and take him to jail. The man can't even stay in the country for, I don't even know if he can, because they're coming for him. That's what they're doing here. You'll be next. And the thought police is being invented in England, a place I never, ever in my life, and I'm not a young broad, thought that this would happen. And they've been doing it for a couple of years. And when a woman who makes a Facebook post sees that people are upset, they take it down. They bring her ass to court and give her a sentence of 32 fucking months for free speech. But the Palestinians who are out here jumping and praying and shit on October 8th after they've slaughtered 1,500 people, they're out there protesting because free Palestine. Are you out of your fucking minds? You should be hosed down, deliced, hair cut off, put in white, like El Cid. I like that place. I get my too. But you people need to be goddamn arrested. A father who'd lost two of his daughters at that Nova dance that they slaughtered these kids at had to walk through the protesters saying Palestine needs to be free from the river to the sea. They didn't even know what the river was or the sea was. Look it up. I'm not going to tell you. I know, but I'm not telling you, Ed. You should fucking know. You're in a university. You're at Harvard. Harvard. And you can't answer questions. There was one guy that I'm getting late. There's one guy that was running around and they had a camera crew, and they said, "We're asking people if they can answer some questions. Would you guys like to do that?" I had three girls, and they said, "Oh yeah." They wanted to be on camera, and he said, "Okay, who was the first person to walk on the sun?" They argued. They said, "We're going to look stupid, aren't we?" And oh, yeah. I think one of them actually came up with the name Armstrong. But why are the parents spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to put them through school? I could have answered that in kindergarten. Yeah, you can't do that. It's the sun. My grandkids could have done that in kindergarten, and they have a terrible school system here. Well, I always think back, oh, well, I'm going to go edit this because I've probably been an ass the whole time. And somehow I can't make myself do it. I probably quit doing this. But to end on a happier note, Halloween is tomorrow night. I love it. It's the only time you can go out and be somebody else for an entire day and night. I'm going as Queen Victoria. I have a wonderful dress I wore for a reenactment. And they wouldn't even charge us to get into the places because I was all dressed and everything. So it's a great outfit. And I had to redo the dress and all that, but it's perfect. So I'm going to say I still will be on tomorrow, maybe for a little while. I used to try now to take holidays like the 3-day weekends and take them off. So none of you are going to miss me that much. And if you do, I'll be so sorry that I missed you. And I promise you I will spend more time with you when I come back up. I always do this live. If again, my friends, family, if you see me up here, hit the button. Just tingle the bell. The bell will give you notifications. Subscribe, for God's sakes, is free. And that doesn't do anything more than you get to watch or know when it's put up. And I make one every day. I try to between 10 and 2. And I'm usually live. I usually don't want to put it up later. I just do this live and pray nobody comes to hunt me down. It's entertainment purposes only, guys. So I'm not trying to get up here with facts yet, unless you ask for them. I'm going to go look tomorrow for some ghosts. I'm going to go look tomorrow for some candy. For me, it's a drink at the bar. And I know that the dress is so great and the outfit is so wonderful that I'm going to get a lot of comments as I go through there, which is also uplifting at my age. So I cheat a lot. So go out there, guys, and have a good day. And stop letting these people loose around by the nose. It's enough. Call these senators and what the fuck are you doing? Are you paying my mortgage? You got paid. So we'll just have you loan us the money until you get off your ass and do what you were hired to do. And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. But if I don't, happy Halloween, guys. Make it a fun day.